Hello and good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I can see now you're joining. Good morning. How are you doing? It's already 10:03 a.m. Yes, good morning. Good morning too. I can see already Elijah is here. Kama is here. John Mwangi is here. Welcome on board. Welcome on board. Now, let's just check as we proceed on this on what has been happening to the side of the gold, because yesterday we did not take a trend. So let's see what is really happening and what did we miss yesterday. That is important. Now, yesterday we started actually here. Remember where we saying that this market was actually in between here, and look what has actually been happening in this zone. This is the gold. Now let's just update this. Okay, morning James Bogon, good morning. Now just look at this. Yesterday the gold prices was here, in between here. Actually the gold prices were around these 18 33 18 20s here, in between here. And all the yesterday, just look at how this market has actually been doing. But we did something here that is so good, because remember we sent, this is what we sent. Let me actually do a recap of what we sent and what changed and how this market might be doing today. So if you're joining this, ensure that you like. That is the first thing that you do. Yeah, ensure that you like. Actually, it's good to help this live. So I hope you're all going to like. Yes, so let's just do a recap of what happened yesterday and what is really happening right now, because you can see gold is still dropping. And I'll just tell you what is really going to be happening right here. Now, what is happening here? What is happening to the prices of gold? Remember yesterday we were talking when the prices we sent in between here, we might be getting a reversal towards this place and to this point here, so that we can get the market moving all the way along that one. But the market actually did not manage to come to this zone. All right, you all know what happened here is, just look at this. This is what we sent, and this is what was to validate our point. Now, we said in case this candle closes below this line, I've not changed anything. When we were waiting to see whether this candle could have actually closed below this, but you can see it's only the wick here. So the market managed to go through that candle. I was waiting for it to close below this one, but did not manage actually to close below the line that we have here, only just to create a wick that we can see around this corner here. So the market did not manage to close, that is below the market, below our point, which was actually very important. In case now the market could have actually closed below that, if that candle could actually have closed below this point that you see here, this candle actually crossing all the way and closing below this, actually this market could have been heading all the way to that 250. And you have seen how this market did, because we are talking about 18 and the prices actually started dropping, and we went all the way to that 290 at that time. So I was waiting at least this candle to close at this point, so that now after this closing point, now this candle could have, this market could actually have dropped all the way like that. But you just look at what is really happening here. Now after that, because we had a lot of touches here, because you can see 1 2 this market trying to touch these break out here, so the market and actually end to break out of that, and that's why now this market is starting moving up. And why do you really think that this market reversed at this zone? It is very important, because that is why I actually told you to set the alert. I told you to set an alert on this zone because of this resistance that we have here. We have a resistance zone across this zone here, and that's why this market actually tested that zone. It's very simple. Using the resistance, the market actually just got a rejection here, and you can see exactly that is what happened. So remember, this is where we are setting alert. Why we just decided to set an alert on this area is because we were expecting to see whether this market is going to break this. And once we are settling on this, I know some of you received an alert on this zone here. So if you receive an alert now, we want just to watch on how the market is going to react, because I was expecting this market after to hit this, now we get a small pullback here, but this market actually, this can actually not even act as a resistance, because the resistance actually, unless if this market comes to this zone again, it can be actually receive a resistance again, a rejection, two ups and downs, and that's why now it becomes a strong resistance, just like this one, the one that we managed to get out of it here. Now that is what we're expecting, at least to see an alert here. So because there was a reaction to take place at this zone, and now we are waiting to see market moving to this. This was now the valid point of selling up to this point, and now I'm still waiting to see whether this market is again going to be coming to this zone here, so that now after when this market now comes to this zone, it's just very simple. We are going to stick with the yesterday analysis, and when this market come to this zone, now that is the time now we'll be either be testing this region again, when this market will be coming up around this area. But trust me, gold is now trading at 33.26. Gold is now trading at 33.26. Now we have the probability now for this market now to just come and test this area again, so that we can continue moving on the upper side. That is what we may having from that, because we are not yet to go to the point that I've been waiting for us to check. So we have not really checked the area I wanted us to check, because that is my main area of where I'm expecting this market to be going from. Maybe it's just trying to cover this gap that was just created here, but remember, there are also so many gaps that were really not created here. That's why, and the market will actually be coming to this region. We'll be talking about this one, we'll be talking about this, we'll be talking about this, right? We'll be talking about this. So what is going to be happening here? Are we really going to be hitting this? I'm going to go to 1 hour time frame so that I can show you what we can expect from that, and this is what we are going to be getting. So for this market now to come either to this zone again to 45 and end up this way, what we have to get is this candle that has started forming here to continue the same move. So I don't expect this candle to move below that. I don't expect these candles to move below that, probably 19 or below 20. I don't expect it to move below that, because if it moves below that, then you're going to be getting something different, because this market might be coming to this zone. But remember now, in case now this market crosses this zone and comes to our region here, now we might be planning even to enter even more buys and try to find a position now to buy from this market. But from where this market is sitting right now, I'm expecting for this market at least to come to this area. Remember now what we saying, that this is actually a strong, for this to become a strong resistance, this market actually might come to this zone here and might receive actually this market might come to that zone and receive some rejections from that point. That is what I'm expecting. But if you're watching this keenly, what we sent yesterday, if you are watching this keenly on what we sent yesterday, actually this is 1 hour time frame, but you can see all those candles was trying this zone very hard. Why did I do this? Because I actually knew it was a very important point. I knew it is very vital, very important. And you can see all these candles were trying to come to this area, meaning they were trying to break this zone, but it was very, very hard. You can see 3 of them, this one, and that one. That's why that zone was so important for us. And now you can see after this market now was trying to break this, coming again, and this one, and that time, for this time, maybe that is the time now decided now to move all the way up. Right now, what do I expect from today prices or not they are going to be doing today? Now, what I'm going to be waiting to do today, because we did not achieve our target here, the prices just got rejected because of this resistance that we really get from that. Although the reason I really don't rely on one, like just this one, is because I cannot rely on one resistance when I see the market receiving its resistance, for example, at this zone. I cannot really make an argument that that is strong one. No, I cannot really do that. And that's why now I'm waiting to see what is going to be unfolding from this candle, and I'm going to be testing this region, and high chances maybe we're going to be breaking that. But expect that when this market come to this, it's actually going even to react again. That is what I'm expecting from these gold prices, and I think it's trying now to just do a pullback because of this big move that happened all the way to this zone. So yesterday the market did not actually move that big compared to the other day. That's why you can see after analyzing our chart, the market actually just decided to range more on this zone here. Remember, we just analyzed around when the market was here around 16, we said it's going to be going down, and we are waiting for it to break here, but it actually came to 32.90. That's why I was telling you, most of the chances, I normally get a lot of chances to buy and sell from the market, but I cannot do that because, you know, when this market was trending at 16, we can have, actually, you know, so many people might be, and that is normally for the scalpers. So if you are getting this region, so for if you are a scalper, maybe you can utilize that on your side. But on most of the trends that we take, most are for swing trading. The trends that we normally wait like 24 hours, you can wait 12 hours. Yeah, just something like that. And not even too close at the end of the day. Sometimes we can leave our trends running even overnight. Yeah, so that is what we can actually do there. But once I capture a trend, once we capture a trend, actually, that you actually have to know that we are going to be making a lot of money from there. Yeah, so that is what we are going to be getting from there. I can see good morning from Oscar Moby. Good morning. James Ibogon, good morning. How are you doing? Simon Juma, good morning. How do you set up your channel? I don't understand. Good morning too. Yeah, so that is it. Let me see what is, because now this market, it gets, now it's going to be coming to this zone. I'm going to be replacing a small buy from this region here, but that risk is not really worth it. But what I'm expecting is this market to come to this area. Now might be placing a buy from this zone once this candle actually keep moving all the way down just like that. Now, you know, the biggest catch that we are waiting for this market to do is when the market was actually to come to this zone. Yeah, this was actually our big catch. In case this market could have touched this region here, we could have actually bought all the way to that 360, and we are still waiting to see whether this market is going to be touching from that zone. You can see how we have been moving, and I'm expecting at least for this market to come and test that one. Now, where do I expect this market, in case it just comes from all these region here, then I'm expecting at least buying. In case maybe there is a buy that I'm going to be taking, I'm going to be taking the buy at 32.98 or 33 there. Yeah, that is three there. That is one I'm expecting to be getting from this market in case it continues to just move like that. But I said this candle is going to determine a lot. Just watch on this. It's going to give us the direction, because there's something that really happened here. And what I expect from this candle to get from this, let me tell you, which minute just opened at 10. So in the next like 1 hour, in the next like 1 hour, what we're going to be getting from this is at least to see this closing and engulfing all these. Because if you go to like a 4-hour time frame, let's see whether we can use all these. Just look at that, look at this. So for people maybe probably scalping, just look at how this market is just moving from this region here. Now we are really expecting at least, just look at, we are trending at that 323. Now just look at the market might be heading to that 226 now before this continues either to move down. And I'm expecting at least, in case this market comes to this, I'm going to, and that's why now it might be switching us to just a scalp a little bit, maybe today and Friday. But remember, Friday we are not going to be holding trend above 2 p.m. because I don't want to leave the trend running overnight. That is one thing I really don't want here. Yeah. So let's see how this market is going to be doing here. Let me try to open some trends and try to scalp a little bit as the market moves. Then I will think about something as the market just ends to away. Let's try. Let me show you the position we are going to be getting this algo. What is the algo doing on my chart? What is the algo? What are you doing in my chart? Right, we are here. Yeah, just told you that it's going to go to 26. I thought I could have bought at 23, maybe just to get some few pips there. Just a reaction there. Just look, if you go to the lower time frame, you're going to be seeing all these things that I'm talking about. Let's see, something like that. That is what we are going to be seeing on the higher time frame. This market was here 22. Yeah, so you see, scalping, you have to be very fast. And I know you can't scalp when you are listening to me, because I know the audio is just going to satellite and coming back. Maybe before you hear me that just talking about the buy zone, you'll be late. That is crazy. So scalping together, unless maybe there's a telegram that maybe can just give you an instant executions, or maybe something that is going to give you an instant feedback from there. Yeah, so I'm expecting let's just go to our time frame. I'm expecting this market to move above. I'm going to 1 hour time frame. I'm expecting this candle to react. This is the candle that I'm expecting it to, not to move below where actually not to move below 32.20. all right, that is almost I'm expecting to get. I'm expecting this candle to be more moving up. I'm expecting it to move now up, and it's actually going even to move maybe 36, and let's just move again all the way back, because I think if we continue moving below this, we might be ending all the way down, and that is what we really don't want here. So I already told you that price is going to 26 and we got 22, and already we are up there. I'm using different time frame whoever is asking about this. So you see now how I normally switch between scalping sometime to just get a few dollars here, and some of the time we can capture big moves. That is not normally happens. Some small reaction. So gone from yesterday, you can see how this is just the moves that made. But remember the other days we were capturing all these distance that you see here. So that we can't be capturing all those distance every day, because they're going not be moving every day just like that. Yeah. So like this one, just sometimes you enter small positions just for scalping, just like that one, and then you just switch. You can make few dollars from that, right? I don't know whether we can actually scalp together, because the signals that are arriving onto your side, I think they are almost a minute, and the scalping normally requires for you to be very fast. Probably we enter at the same time, probably instant. It requires some instant non-delays, because I might be saying bye and some few seconds the gold is very hard. Now let's just look at this. I said in case this candle breaks this and moves below 20, I'll be buying from this zone, but I'm really expecting this market to go back and test this zone again, that 345. That's what I'm expecting from this market. Meanwhile, I'll be loving so many buys considered to sells. Well, guys, you forgive me. I can't talk for a long time. I'm not feeling well, so I'm not feeling so good. I'm not feeling so good. Do you know actually how much you can make with gold just scalping? With just 0.5 lot can actually make you big money, even from 22 to the one that you can see right now, which is 30. Let me show you. Let me show you here. Let me show you something. Let me show you. Let me show you scalping. Let me show you scalping. Do you know what's never chased this market? Because you know this candle can actually even decide to move all the way down. But I'm at least expecting to, let's just, that market can keep moving and move up. Let me show you how much we can do, how this market can do things. It's crazy. It's crazy. You have to be fast. So assume now you bought at 23 that we are talking about. That could actually be very fast. You making good amount of money all the way to that position here. That's quite good. So let's see whether this candle is going to be moving. That is called an engulfing candle. That is where it's going to be moving above this one here. And once we move above this, then automatically we'll be just be heading, but that has to close above this. So it closes 36. We can take the rest $9 all the way to 46, 45. That is what you do, because that normally becomes like a guarantee. Those are scalping rules, some of the scalping rules. I think someone is asking the question. Good morning, everyone. Yes, good morning, Tony. This is the first time to see you here. Good morning, too. And Wanjiku, which time frame are you using to do analysis? I'm using different time frames here. Using different time frames. As you can tell, 1 hour for time frame, and we normally use different time frames to get different information. Okay. One thing I want to tell you that never judge a candle before it closes. Never judge a candle before it closes. Do you know even this candle can actually turn to move all the way down? Because before the candle closes, you can't really know what it says until it closes. So until this candle closes, that is when you can actually know where we'll be ending. And that's why I said this candle. You remember yesterday when I said unless this market, this candle that is going to be closes below this. But you see this just a week, and that's why the market started moving up. We end to close below this, and that's why you see every candle that was coming to this zone did not close below this. The market did not close here. The closing point for this is this here, 3202. We not even close below that 200. No, all the market actually closed above that. That was makes things crazy. That was makes things crazy there. Yo, so if you're watching this, ensure that you like. 1 hour will be gone. At least let's try see whether we can make some good amount of money here before we close, and we'll be waiting for some zones. But remember, I'll be coming live. I think today the market might be touching one of the regions here that might bring us an emergency for buying or selling. So ensure that's why now the market is not really clear today on that, but at least we have the zone that we can be waiting for. I don't have patience. You have to be patient, because at least you can be patient enough, and you just need 3 days. You just need 3 days to enter big trend, and you're out of the market. You make big moves, and then you are done. Make good moves, not just rushing every day. Then you are trading, unless maybe you have a separate. I have a separate account that I can do scalping, and the others for that I can hold my trades to run all throughout. So that's why I'm saying this candle you can't chance it. Although we're saying this market's going to end all the way, Just remember they are moving down just like this. So unless maybe we is close for this market to know what we're ending, we have to close 35. Trust me, we have to close 35 here, so that now when it closes 35 here, the next candle that will be opening, I just wait for it to come a little bit down, and then we buy it 45, and then we'll be looking for whether we are going to be getting a breakout once that zone. That's how you scalp from there. This is a scalping strategy. It's very simple though, and you can actually master it very quickly, especially when you are trending on to know how the market reacts. And you have to master candles so much. You have to master candles. You have to master types of candles that are formed and how the candles are closing, the behaviors, what you expect. But that can actually even come out of a lot of practices that you have to be doing there in the market, right? So let's not judge that. Let's just wait and see. Let me see. This is still a risk to enter around that zone here. It's still risky here unless this candle closes, because this, remember this, you see, just look at how these candles have been moving down here. So you don't expect really these candles to, because it is printing green and then you start buying. No, never ever do that. Yo, Joshua Nyangena, good morning, how are you doing? This is amazing. So I want us to see how this kind of just plays out, but you can see how it is really moving and very important. It's really moving, but you can see this might be the lowest price we might have gotten from this candle right here. But to be sure enough, let's just see whether this it's going to be touching this. That's going to be very important. But as you can't just buy because this market was just going down this way as well. Just know this market can actually end. Just look at that. I don't know, this market can do crazy things. Okay. Yeah, but if you touch 20, I think I might be buying from 20 in case it touches 20, 22 again. I might be buying from there and just buy a little bit from 20s. 20, buy from that 320. Just one position for scalping and probably to 40s. That will be my move. Yeah, but in case maybe we go below this market closes above that, might be in danger there, because now 19.3309 might be getting that prices there. But as well, in case we close it, so this good news, because the market will be ending up. So remember, most of our positions that we have for the gold, mostly buys, mostly buys at the moment. You can see how the market is really boring, and that's why I'm yesterday and today we have not been live streaming for many hours, because you can see even scalping itself becomes hard, because market moving, making big, at least some big moves there, becomes very hard for the gold. Yeah. So, and already we in the London session, so I wonder, still wondering, let's see what we get. I'm getting this. Okay. So today I see new people. I see new people here. I see new faces. Welcome on board. So gold is not giving us big move that we may expect. And actually scalping most becomes more fun, at least when the market is moving. So what we're going to be doing here, for those maybe who are joining this, we are expecting at least price to be closing above the line that I'm crossed around this zone here. And once we're here, then this market might be heading to this zone as well. We're saying this candle is important because this is the last candle I was expecting that this market, this be the last price that you're going to be seeing towards the downside, because once we move below that, we might be going all the way down, probably even to that 300, right? So that is what we are expecting to get from this market. And once we have that, we can scalp a little bit from this and then get out of this market from that. Okay, so we can't really make a decision here, and that's why the patience actually comes in. Can't make decisions to once because of this candle is rising up. And the reason is, you can see how all these candles has been moving down, and we cannot expect really that we are going to be making decisions just based on this candle that is rising here, because we can be caught in a very bad corner, and something bad can really happen to our account in case maybe we just decide from buying from that zone. But we said that most of our positions that we're going to be taking are going to be long, I think, for a very long distance. Yeah, so today we do not analyze into details because we are basing this on the yesterday analysis. So we just combined it with the yesterday analysis. But we can actually take like let me see whether we can make $100 here. 100 from the market. Let's see. Let's see 26. Let's see if we can get 26. I don't love these how the market is just moving, and we are still going to be setting a lot for this. Yesterday we set a lot for the market. We are still going to be waiting for the same. So you have seen how the gold has been moving since yesterday. This just moved here. That's why we just came live like 1 hour and just decided to hold things up. Just decided to set alerts. And that's how the market was moving right here. And you can see even today the market is not like moving that big. And that's why you are still expecting to see how this market is going to be reacting on that zone. Let me see exit 26. Let me see that. Want to renew at least 100 or something, and I exist live at least. Let me see, already up. I'm just going to see whether we can time this maybe from few coins before we go offline. So this candle was actually closed around this area here, just closed below this one. Now, this might actually even be moving all the way down, or is it going to be the real breaker here? That's why I told you this is actually we have to be observing this very keenly. I'm feeling now to risk something here. Let's just let me wait for some prices just drop below 29. Volatility is not giving up, eh? Okay, I see. Okay. That was late. What? Is the price really going to drop below that? Let's see. Let's see. Just a scalping there, but I'll be closing these trends once we hit band. I think once we cross this, I think I might close. Look at that. So band of me. Yo. Closing. This is bad, eh? Yeah, Faith is saying that we have a very low liquidity on buys. Yeah, the market is not good. So I think we might be closing this as well, so that at least we can wait for the market to do something maybe later. That will be good. That will be good, eh? That will be good. And you see this actually making move like that. Just look at this. This kind of just threatening to move. Let me show you the worst point that we can get here. It's actually here. So we don't have to go below 20. Huh? That's why the position that I've opened for the scalp just very small, because now the stop loss will be here 20. Let me put it 18 to give it just a space. 18, yeah, $4. Let's focus that here. 4. Once we hit 18, this is 18. 18 is here. 18 is here. 18 is right there. 18 is right there. Entries was 22. Let's see how this is going to be unfolding. That's why you see, just look at these, what I was talking about, candles. So you see these candles actually closing below each other. That becomes a danger, and that's why you see so many people buying from this market, moving up just like that, and then you start moving. That is something dangerous that you can ever do. Just look at how these candles have been moving, and until maybe we hit this, until maybe we could have hit this, or now this, if you're going to be hitting that 235, that is when we will be having a confirmation that at least this market might be moving on the upper side. But still, this market is moving down, so we're gonna move with that. We're gonna just wait and see whether we are going to be seeing a reverse on that. And since we are not more on buys, we are not more on sells, so we just wait for the opportunity to just buy for this market. And that is what we are really talking about here. Focusing 200, $100 here. Then I close this because I think this market is still moving down, and we might be still having chances for that. That is crazy. That is crazy. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now you see how this market now has been moving here. We're really going to be getting a reversal now, because now I think now we are entering into the main zone. That was not so important there. A small portion that we really entered there to see how the market could be reacting from that. But the most important is this one, when the market is actually entering across this area. Now we'll be considering now the moment the market touches this. Let me show you this area now from on. This is what I'm going to be targeting on from this zone that we have here between 12 and 99. Also I'm going to be finding my entries, but I have to get a candle in case this is going to be closing 12 in the next 30 minutes. And once this closes and we get a candlestick formation that this market might be ending up, we might be closing in some, might be entering some big moves that will be happening from there into this market. Right, just look at that. Just look at that. We were hoping that this market actually could come to this region, but it seems before we move to, we were targeting this area here, but again, it's another failure here for this market actually not to move to this area. I don't know why the buyers are not really pushing this market on the upper side. Let's see, because now it is entering 12. We are now entering to 12, and that is what we are waiting to be seeing from that market. Let's see from 12 now. Here I'll have market, let me see, my positions. Actually my positions will be, from this zone here, between around this zone all the way to that point here. I just look for the somewhere to buy in between there, just a small one, just like that, right? Yeah, so that's how the market was just moving there, and that was just based on the currencies. That's just based on the currencies. That wasn't just based on the candles. Just look how these candles was moving. These, and this was trying to manipulate so many people, thinking that this is going to be ending this, and that's why I introduced this, saying that in case we break this out, then the market might be moving up. And there was another position here that was hit here. I think I was entering a position that's small lot here. I was hoping the market at least to come back, but it just decided to move below 18. And that's why I said if we hit 18, then might be moving all the way down. Just look how this market just moved out there. It's crazy on how really gold is just moving. It's a big move. That's big move. We are still expecting, let me see, because my entry is saying that there's going to be around 12. So between 12 and this, that is when we're going to be having some entries there for the gold, and that is going to be a long one at least. Let me just draw this as we wind this, because I think, hey, 2 hours just waiting for some small gold to make some small moves there. Yeah, so from these entries now I'll be focusing for this market now to just move here. And why do we really consider from buying from this is you can actually consider the stop loss. This reward actually has to be big. That's why I'm waiting for at least this market to make some quite cool move towards the downside. This area here, at least that is when the market comes to that zone, at least we might be having the market moving up. Michael Nyakundi, you are saying you've made some quite good amount of money. That's good. That's good. That's gone. So I'll be waiting for this to see how the market is going to be reacting again. I'm going to be looking for the buys that I'm going to be across this zone. Yeah. So once we get a clear signal from that, once the market is clear, I'm becoming live again, maybe during the day, so that we can talk more about this. 12 noon, this is going to be closing out, and then we're going to be having another candle to show us different things from this market, but never judge a book by its cover, right? By just seeing this candle just forming very big move that has made right here, all this one can actually be the wick. All this you see here, remember when this actually was moving here and is forming like a bull candle that was going to be formed, but just look at what really happened here. Gold continues to move down, until we get a confirmation that this market is going to reverse and move up. Okay, that's how boring gold is it. That's how boring it is until I think from 4:30, when New York session just collides with the London session there, around there, then we'll be having a good volatility. I might become alive again, at least for some minute. We find a good entry from those zones, right? Let me see you later. I think I'm a little tired. So ensure that you subscribe, turn on notification bell such that when I come live, you'll be notified. Right? You'll be notified when I come back live. When I come back live here, you'll be notified. Okay. I see you again the next hour. Hey, just look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Just look at that. 12 just moving below 12. Let's see. So you cannot really enter a market just because this candle is just moving until you get a confirmation. Until this candle closes, you know where it's going to be closing, and you get a good signal for reversal when the next candle will just be opening. This is just in case maybe you are scalping, you enter at 12, you assist at $2, something like that. Don't risk more than $4 in terms of the gold. You see, like the one we just entered 22, closed at 18. $4 move with just a small lot size that will not affect you so much. Even maybe that is a quarter of your daily target, or maybe even a half of a quarter, I don't know, a eighth of your target. So it's not going to affect you so much. So until we get a signal towards this zone for the market reversal here, then that's the time we're going to be buying from those zones. But when this market is absolutely here, then it means that we are almost to the zone of buying. But when I compare really the risk towards the round of this, we actually have to wait at least a little bit. Let's just come a little bit down, okay, before we just get a perfect move. I know the buy is there, but let's just wait for this market to settle from this downtrend here, and do now we start flashing on the upper side. That is the time now we're going to be hitting all the way to 3360. That is when you are going to be getting that entry. So checking on 4-hour time frame, you see that. Just look at that. Until now we master this. Just look, this candle is actually, this candle 4-hour time frame is just going to be closing before this, below this, going to be good one because it's still below this. That means maybe we'll be having a room for this market to create 33s there before we just continue moving up. Yeah, so let's see whether we can continue on scalping next time, or maybe I'm going to be getting a clear positions for the buy here. And once we achieve our target that you have been waiting for, I'll become live again so that we can hit big moves out there, right? I'm signing out. I'll see you again later, and tomorrow again live. That is on Friday. We'll be live again. Probably tomorrow we are going to be seeing a very big move that is going to be happening in the market. Yeah, it's not all time that things are going to be clear on the market. When they are not clear, don't just rush. Don't rush. See, it is reacting in between here 12, and it's reacting, moving. So let's see what is going to be breaking that to all the way down. We are still moving down, so let's see how the market is going to be reacting. I'll see you later. This is been 1 hour 40 minutes of live stream. Just waiting for this. I'll see you in the next one. Good day.